Hello, Hypatia, and I am really happy to be doing another reading for you. Um, as you know, it's been a strange 2 or 3 days for me because I have not been sleeping. I have been happy, but I have not slept properly, and my concentration is a bit strange. But it's good because I have been doing fun things and having a lot of nice giggles. So just tonight, I promise, I think Caves of God is a bit too ambitious for me, and I know it is a special book to you as well, so I do not wish to do it badly. Apparently, Virgos are perfectionists. I didn't know that. Right, but I had a parcel through the post today, and I think I will read one of these instead, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's see. I can't wait to read this properly. Alright. Won't tell you what it is. Chapter 1. Another Orhan. Well, I think you know what it is now, don't you? This could be another book about identity. Excellent. I do like identity. Right. From a very young age, I suspected there was more to my world than I could see. Somewhere in the streets of Istanbul, in a house resembling ours, there lived another Orhan, so much like me that he could pass for my twin, even my double. I can't remember where I got this idea, or how it came to me. It must have emerged from a web of rumours, misunderstandings, illusions, and fears. But in one of my earliest memories, it is already clear how I've come to feel about my ghostly other. When I was 5, I was sent to live for a short time in another house. It was at the end of one of their many stormy separations that my parents arranged to meet in Paris, and it was decided that my older brother and I should remain in Istanbul, in separate places. My brother remained in the heart of the family, with our grandmother in the Pamuk apartments in Nishantashi. Nishantashi? But I would be sent to stay with my aunt in Cihangir. Hanging on the wall in his house, where I was treated with the utmost kindness, was a picture of a small child. Every once in a while, my aunt or uncle would point at him and say with a smile, "Look, that's you." The sweet, doe-eyed boy inside the small white frame did look a bit like me, it's true. He was wearing the cap I sometimes wore. I knew I was not the boy in that picture. And yet, I kept asking myself, is this the Orhan who lives in that other house? Of course, now I too was living in another house. It was as if I'd had to move here before I could meet my twin. But as I wanted only to return to my real home, I took no pleasure in the idea of making his acquaintance. Each time my aunt and uncle teased me about being the boy in the picture, I felt my mind unravelling. My ideas about myself, my house, my picture, and the person I resembled, and the other house, would slide around in a confusion that made me long all the more to be at home again, surrounded by family. Soon my wish came true, but the ghost of the other Orhan in the other house never left me. Throughout my childhood, and well into adolescence, he haunted my thoughts. On winter evenings, walking through the streets of the city, I would gaze into other people's houses, through the pale orange light of home, and dream of happy, peaceful families living there. Then I would shudder, thinking that the other Orhan might be living in one of those houses. As I grew older, the ghost became a fantasy, and the fantasy a recurrent nightmare. In some dreams, I would greet this Orhan, always in another house, with shrieks of horror. In others, two of us would stare excuse me, sorry. two of us would stare each other down in merciless silence. Afterwards, as I drifted in and out of sleep, I would cling ever more fiercely to my pillow, my house, my street, my place in the world. Whenever I was unhappy, I imagined going to the other house, the other life, the place where the other Orhan lived. I'd half convince myself that I was he, and took pleasure in imagining how happy he was. Such pleasure that for a time I felt no need to go to the other house. Here we come to the heart of the matter. I've never left Istanbul, never left the houses, streets, or neighbourhoods of my childhood. Although I've lived in other districts from time to time, 50 years on I find myself back in the Pamuk apartments, where my first photographs were taken, and where my mother first held me in her arms to show me the world. I know this persistence owes something to my imaginary friend, and to the solace I took from the bond between us. But we live in an age defined by mass migration, and I am sometimes hard-pressed to explain why I stayed. Not only in the same place, but even in the same building. My mother's sorrowful voice comes back to me. Why don't you go outside for a while? Why don't you try a change of scenery, do some travelling? Conrad, Nabokov, Naipaul, these are writers known for having managed to migrate between languages, cultures, countries, continents, even civilizations. Their imaginations were fed by exile, a nourishment drawn not through roots, but through rootlessness. Mine, however, requires that I stay in the same city, on the same street, in the same house, gazing at the same view. Istanbul's fate is my fate. I am attached to this city because it has made me who I am. Flaubert, who visited Istanbul 102 years before my birth, was struck by the variety of life in its teeming streets. In one of his letters, he predicted that in a century's time it would be the capital of the world. The reverse came true. After the Ottoman Empire collapsed, the world almost forgot that Istanbul existed. The city into which I was born was poorer, shabbier, even more isolated than it had ever been in its 2,000-year history. For me, it has always been a city of ruins and of melancholy. I've spent my life battling with this melancholy, and, like all Istanbulus, making it my own. Gosh. Wow. I think I'm going to enjoy this. I really do. Yes, I'm going to like that a lot. Right. I can go back to Caves of God tomorrow with pleasure. I really think we should. When I get some stability back. But I quite like being unstable. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely evening. Oh, and it's the weekend, isn't it? Yes. Right. Enjoy it. Speak to you soon.